I want to say thank you. So a few weeks ago, I put out this video. Since it came out, I did change the title, but now it's going by I was right, YouTube is completely broken. In this video, I outlined what appears to be an unannounced change to YouTube, whereby they appear to have completely changed how views are being counted on the platform. And I know for a fact they've changed something, because overnight, views were cut in half. Now, if I was just making bad videos and nobody cared about them anymore, that's fine. That totally makes sense. However, that doesn't appear to be what's happened, because I'm still getting paid the same amount from YouTube. And YouTube, they don't overpay. If YouTube can come up with a situation to lower CPMs, to lower ad rates, they are gonna do so. They will never be generous in this case. But also, the amount of comments didn't change, and neither did the amount of likes. This led to a situation where the ratio of views to likes completely skyrocketed, going from roughly 5-ish% of viewers liked the video to about 15%. So either people were just hyper engaged with the content, but nobody was watching it, or something was wrong here. Now, when I did that video, I was running a bit of napkin math a few days after everything started. I had maybe 5 videos worth of data to look at, and I noticed something was weird, but it wasn't enough to be entirely conclusive. And I couldn't find anyone else talking about this. I searched everywhere. I searched for support comments. I couldn't find a single soul even noticing that there was a problem. You'll always see people talking about views being down on the platform, but a lot of those are people just genuinely having lower views on the platform. And honestly, it felt like I was screaming into the void. YouTube wouldn't listen. I reached out a bunch of times. They kept telling me, oh, this is a natural way that views are being counted. This is a normal thing on the platform. When I can directly point to data that that's not the case, and nobody else seemed to even know about the problem yet to be yelling at YouTube. But now I have actual data and well laid out graphs, and I have well laid out graphs because of who I want to thank first in this video. Thank you, LTT, Linus Tech Tips. Thank you, Luke. I'm pretty sure your last name is pronounced Lafren. Yeah, I'm bad with names. Thank you for reaching out on Twitter, and thank you, producer Dan, I don't know your last name, for running the numbers on my channel as well. So, on last week's episode of The WAN Show, Linus and Luke talked about some viewership issues they've been having, people not liking some of the content. They were kind of focused on a different problem because they didn't actually identify what the actual issue was yet. It wasn't until this week's WAN Show, and notably this clip, Here's Why Our Views Dropped, where they really identified the problem. And I want to highlight this section right here. I'm not going to play the entire thing, it's 37 minutes long. I'll leave a link to it down in the description below.
But what we found was the views were down, but the like ratio had gone through the roof. So our average like ratio, I think, was something like 3%, and it had skyrocketed.
Did we know this already before?
Mine's a little bit higher, about 5%, but a lot of channels are going to be in roughly that sort of range. I have no idea what like a Mr. Beast kind of channel would be like, but 3 to 5% seems about normal.
I'm sorry?
Did we know this like ratio thing already?
No, this was the heads up. Yeah.
Okay,
we
then
got to go chronologically.
Yeah, who was that then?
That was Brodie.
It's me.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's
okay,
right.
okay. So there was a merch message that came in from a viewer,
Yeah,
giving us a heads up of
get those
I think
pictures
it's Brodie
when we do that.
Robertson. Hopefully I didn't say that wrong. Let me check his channel. We've engaged with him before.
And Fleming says Brodie. Yeah, I watched his video.
Yeah, Brodie Robertson.
Okay.
So there's a merch message that came in flagging that video for us. So big appreciation to the merch message. If I remember correctly, it was anonymous. So
that's right.
I don't know.
I didn't buy the merch. Just so we're clear, I didn't buy the merch. I don't know who said it either.
But that sent us to Brodie's video, and then Brodie's video talked about this whole, views going down, likes going sharply up,
Well,
revenue going.
Yeah, likes not going sharply up, but
Like
likes
ratio
staying
going sharply
constant,
up.
meaning
Yeah,
that
yeah.
if views are down but your likes are the same, the ratio of viewers liking the content is skyrocketing.
And then
I'm glad that people actually understood the point I was making in that video, and I explained it properly. I wasn't sure if I had explained it properly. I hoped the graphs and the data made it clear, but I'm glad that somebody else got what I was saying. And for the rest of this video, they go on to talk about the problem, the theories, they show some graphs, and all this good stuff, but I identified the problem on my channel, and honestly, I thought I was going crazy initially, especially when I didn't know what the problem was, and I just saw views. It was like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. YouTube on like the homepage, on like the studio, will tell you the ranking of your latest 10 videos, and just 5 in a row were the worst performing videos in that period. And when you work on a video, you want it, you want people to see it. So to see all of these videos that you know are on topics that people are going to enjoy, nobody is seeing, or at least from what you can see, nobody's seeing, like, that's not a good feeling. So I am incredibly happy, not that the problem is happening, but that other people are now actually talking about it. And jumping ahead to the section where Dan shows the graphs, it's exactly like I was saying in my original video. Views sharply went down, and they have not gone back up since. They've maybe a little bit, depending on the kind of content. I'm not sure if it's gone back up, if they've tweaked it, or it's just the content I'm making. Not enough data to really say one way or the other. But at the same time, the like to view ratio, because likes stayed the same, the ratio of people liking the video to viewing the video sharply goes upwards. Now, of course, there have always been outlier videos, but a consistent upwards jump like this is not normal. And it's not just me and Linus Tech Tips. The numbers will also run on the Second Wind channel, and because the uploads are a lot less frequent, it's a bit harder to see exactly how views are affected in the same way, but the like to view ratio, it looks exactly the same. Dan went and ran the numbers on Dark Viper's channel, and again, because his upload frequency is a bit weird, it's a bit harder to see the numbers, but you do see a general massive drop here, and the like ratio shoots through the roof. And now it's not just me talking about the problem. Second Wind has a video on this, Dark Viper has a video on this, recently Jeff Geerling also posted an article about this. Jeff had worked directly with Dan and has the graphs from Dan, and they show the exact same thing on every single one of his channels. This is the Jeff Geerling channel. This is Geerling Engineering. Again, like ratio goes through the roof. And then level 2 Jeff, the exact same graph. But all of these channels are either tech channels like LTT, mine, and Jeff Geerling, or they're gaming channels like Second Wind and Dark Viper. I'm even seeing people entirely unrelated to any of the tech space talking about the exact same problem following LTT putting their video out. I am seeing people who are like VTubers who have nothing to do with this space who now are seeing the problem. Hi there, it's Dark Mode Brodie again. I was once again editing a video, and someone sent me this. So apparently Ludwig watched the video as well. What is going on? What in the world is going on? Finally, people are actually talking about this issue. I'm no longer just yelling into the void. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of the people who actually realized there was a problem here. Thank you to LTT for doing that video, because now people are actually talking about it. Now, if you want to say LTT is boring now, I stopped watching their videos, I stopped watching their videos because of the honey situation, all of that stuff, that's totally fine. Like, you can say that, but that's not directly related to the problem we are seeing now. This is an overnight shift that happened sometime during August, and it's happening to everyone. This is a platform consistent change. Mostly. There are some channels that are not being affected, and the reason for that is unclear. Is it A/B testing? Is it favoritism? YouTube is a black box. Now, some are speculating it's related to YouTube's new age verification system. Possible. I am seeing far less in the way of bot comments, which that could be very possibly related. Maybe idle views, where you have a video playing in a tab you're not focused on, they're not being counted. Maybe ad-blocked views, they're not being counted. I could absolutely expect both of those to not be counted anymore. All of these are very possible explanations, and they all could be true at once. The issue is YouTube hasn't explained anything. YouTube has said absolutely nothing on this issue except for dodging the fact that there is an issue. I am seeing a lot of people getting distracted by a red herring, and the red herring is kind of taking up the majority of the discourse now. And I don't blame anyone for thinking this, but the red herring might be a problem, but it is a completely unrelated separate problem. So Josh Strife Hayes put out a video which he has now taken down because, frankly, the video did get some things wrong and kind of did start a lot of what was going on here. There is a feature on YouTube known as restricted mode. We click here, and here is the button. It is turned off. Basically, if you turn this on, a lot of videos on your channel, on everyone else's channel, are going to be hidden. And these don't apply in the YouTube restrictions, so you can't actually see if your video is going to appear in restricted mode or not. There's a few issues with this theory being the reason why views are down. Firstly, it's not new, and it's been around for over a decade now. It's been around for so long that Prager actually filed a lawsuit against Google back in 2019 for this feature existing. Secondly, it is not enabled by default. It has never been enabled by default, and no one has it enabled on their channel. The only places where it is enabled is schools and libraries and other places where, you know, they don't want you to see everything on YouTube. Thirdly, revenue hasn't changed. So if people were just naturally seeing videos less, that wouldn't be the problem. Another theory I've seen people talking about is members-only videos being recommended in the algorithm. This is also a problem. This is a big problem, but is also a separate problem to the problem we are seeing here. That would lead to revenue also going down. That, again, hasn't happened. So this idea of views being cut in half but revenue staying the same, this is an unrelated problem to those other issues. They might be issues, but they're not this issue. But when it comes to restricted mode, it was a really easy thing to point to. When you go to your account thing here, most people don't scroll down to this part of the list. As far as they'll go down is switch account, and then skip everything else here. Maybe they see studio, skip everything else until the settings. They don't look at the rest of this list. This has been here for a very long time. But now that people know about it, it's this new thing in their head. And because there is a problem, the thing that they can easily see and the thing they can easily point to, that thing has got to be the problem. But again, I'll say it again, restricted mode is a red herring. Stop getting distracted by it. This is not the problem of views being counted differently. You don't have this enabled on your account, and you never had it enabled on your account. Whilst absolutely nothing has changed here, the problem has not been resolved in any way, YouTube has not said anything about the problem, I'm at least happy, and I'm thankful that people are talking about it. I am happy that this is not just me screaming into the void anymore, and some people at least know about the problem, even if a lot of people are getting distracted. Again, likes are staying the same, views are down, like to view ratio is up. This is not related to restricted mode. That's a separate issue. Anyway, if you like the video, go like the video. I don't usually make meta videos about YouTube, but I wanted to do a follow-up to that prior one just because, you know, LTT did talk about it and all this good stuff. So, yeah. Normally I do Linux videos here. If you like Linux videos, stick around. If you don't, I don't know, maybe you'll like Linux videos, so stick around anyway. Anyway, if you like the video, go like the video. Go subscribe as well. If you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon. the Patreon Subscribestar Liberapay linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and let's get back to the regularly scheduled Linux.
Like this.